Hello everybody, welcome to Rock Painting 101. I'm diving right in and I'm going to get started here. And we are working on a fun outdoor Christmas tree or decorated tree. This kind of has a more natural look to it than some of the graphic style trees we've done before. And today we're going to be using all extra fine tip Posca pens because I realized before I was kind of bouncing back and forth between a lot of different sizes. And if you don't have all the different sizes, you know, you might not be ready to buy all the different sizes to do these. So I'll try to stick to one size at a time. So we're just going to start by giving yourselves a little trunk here. And I'm going to go and share this into our Facebook group. If you're joining in live, I say hi and see where you're from. If you put your name in the comments there, I do refresh on my computer screen off to the side so I get a chance to kind of see, but I do have a little bit of a delay in the comments sometimes. So I do see a few people joining in, and I'm going to share this in our Facebook group. If you haven't joined, go ahead and find it. We are rock painting tutorials. And so if you yourself take pictures of rocks that you create picture by picture, or if you make videos, it's a great place to share those or to get more inspiration. So we're just going to start on the top and go down each side. We're going to create some limbs inside our tree. It's all about doing layers when you're doing really natural nature things. If you don't have those layers underneath, it won't really look realistic. And some of them will even come kind of straightforward here. And you kind of just work your way out. You know, there's lots of little branches inside those trees, right? Okay. And another thing that makes things look a little bit more natural is having some shadows in there. So I'm going to show you up here above. I've just got a paper towel, and I just dampen it with a little bit of water. And you can do this in your kitchen, but I keep a little pipette and some water here. Just enough that it's easy to add a little bit of water to our paintbrush. Got a little bit of a glare there, got some light coming in. And I just have a cheap paintbrush. It doesn't even have a label on it. Hi Monica, thanks for joining us today. Washington, you're all the way on the other coast. I'm over on the East Coast. And I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. So we're just going to dampen this brush just a little bit just to get it wet. And I'm going to add a couple just tiny little streaks of black down the middle of our trunk. And this is going to give us a different layer of brown underneath, because bark is very rarely just going to be one color like this. So we're just going to take the lightest bit of water on here and just kind of right down that trunk and kind of blend that black down. See how I just kind of pull it down, separate it, give it some more texture. You can pull it out a couple of your limbs if you want to. Just like that. I'm barely touching the rock with this. Barely touching. But see how that kind of instantly gives it a little bit more depth and dimension. Then you just wipe off your brush like so. Put it off to the side. And we're going to come in here and start adding our branches. So I'm just going to use the pack comes with a couple different greens, but this one is the darker green. And again, these are the extra fine tips. You could do this with bigger ones just as easily though. And we're going to start at the top and we're going to work our way down here. Actually, we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. Excuse me, because if you think about the branches, which way they're going to layer, right? They're always going to fold over the ones below. So you just kind of want to think about that when you're painting, and just kind of start at the edges and just kind of barely kind of touch and scrape away from these little branches that you created. And you even might have a branch that kind of comes down the front. You need branches along the front of your tree. And kind of just touch and pull, and always pull away, because then you'll get the smallest bit of your tips out. So you don't want to pull in, you want to pull out, because that's the way the pine needles would go. And just slowly work your way up your tree. Just think about the form of a tree. I don't know if you have pine trees where you live. And Christine, you said you have your rocks out and you're ready to do Christmas trees. All right, well, you can do it along with me as I do, or start up when we get done. And like I said above, make sure you come back and share pictures of your completed trees in the comments. Even if you don't do this kind of Christmas tree, if you've got some fun Christmas trees, go ahead and share those too. Always like to see what people are up to. And it's easy to get inspired when you kind of just, sometimes you just have to see it. When you get all the way up here to that tippy top, you just kind of come in here and fill in. But see how you can still see through to that trunk and those limbs in there? Makes it seem a lot more realistic because you can see the trunk inside of a real Christmas tree. You need to get some pens, Christina. I know these are a lifesaver, and for multiple reasons. I like the precision you get with them, but I also like the fact that, see, I just put that cap back on and I don't have a glob of green paint on my plate that I have to rinse off and put away. I don't have to worry about wasting as much paint. If you do want to add a little bit of snow to yours, there's a video that I did a little while back. Maybe we'll add some snow to the tip of some of these after we get some of our ornaments on here. I might have one of the rocks. I don't think it's over here. But if you scroll down, you'll see we did some pine trees that were snow covered, I believe last week. Maybe it was a week and a half ago. I haven't posted in a little bit. My kids have been sick. We've all been kind of fighting the colds that are going around. So I haven't posted in a few days. So it might be about 2 weeks ago. Or you can just click the little videos tab and scroll. We did a really good snow colored one. So you'll find it, Christina. And lots of people did that one and came back and shared their photos, and they're just beautiful. So we're just gonna go in here and start adding ornaments. And just like I do when I put ornaments on my real tree, I find little places where I just think they fit. And you can do the same. You can have them hanging further out on the limbs. Make sure you have some that are in the middle of your tree too. And if you want, you can add a star on the top. I'm going to add a star on the top of my tree because I just always had one growing up. Just add that on top. And since I'm working on a black rock, it might take 2 coats of the yellow on top here. And part of my sniffles, guys. Like I said, we've all been kind of fighting colds around here. So I'm just going to go through with a few different colors, just like I did on this first one. I've got a blue and a yellow and a red, just to add some color to the tree. Just a few here and there, maybe one snuck way out there on that bunch. Sandy said she just ordered her 4th set last night. Sandy, I agree, they are. And you know what? The link that I left up above, if you're just joining in, is one that's just for fine tips, because I'm only using fine tips today. It's a pack of 21 fine tips, and I wish that I would have seen that one before I ordered. I ordered a multi-pack, which I'm still happy with because I do use all of my different sizes quite a bit. But the multi-pack of fine tips that is up above, it has like pastel colors, and it has the silver and the gold, you know, so you kind of get a little bit of everything. And I do use these fine tips probably more than anything else because you can do the most with them. Now, if you're coloring a big space, yes, sometimes it's better to go in and use your bigger ones so you don't use up all your paint in these fine tips, but I can't get enough of them either. So we've got our little dots all over our tree. And you could leave them like this if you want, if you don't have any of the metallics, but I do have gold and silver, so I like to go through and just kind of create like almost like a little hook to connect it. If you don't have this, just make sure that you're placing your ornaments where they're not floating in space. Like, see how I've got this red one kind of floating in space. So you wouldn't do that if you're not going to go in and add some sort of hook or attachment, you know, something to connect it to the tree. Just go through and give them each a little way to hold on. Like so. This guy needs something. I think I got him. Oh, no, blue. Here we go. I think I got them all. And if you want to come back through with your green and add a little grass line so he's not just floating in the middle of space, that's as simple as the same way we did this. You're gonna actually, it's easier to flip it upside down because you want to pull the grass up so that the blades end at the tip. And you can kind of go one direction across and then kind of come back the other way. I mean, grass never really grows perfect. I mean, maybe you have perfect grass. We definitely don't have perfect grass where I live. Just kind of back and forth just to give yourself some sort of land, and you can give it a little bit of a back and forth line here. There we go. And we'll just stop right there with that. Debbie's getting hers for Christmas. What a great Christmas present for yourself, Debbie. You're going to love them. So here we go. So there we go. We got our big tree and our little tree. So we'll let these dry real nice and then give them a nice clear coat, and we'll get these guys out for somebody to find. So thanks for joining me today, everybody that joined in live. Feel free to share this in your rock groups or rock painting groups that you're in. And again, feel free to join our rock painting tutorials group as well. And I hope you join us again soon for more videos, and follow Rock Painting 101 if you're not yet, and catch us live next time. See ya.